In this video, I want to introduce an idea. It's called Living Income Guarantee as a way out of the downward spiral our individual countries, nations, and world is finding itself in, with the mass production of weapons, the billions, trillions of dollars wasted in this regard, and with the increasing poverty and problem of starvation throughout the world. So not only are people dying of starvation unnecessarily, but more and more people are finding themselves struggling, unemployed, not able to provide the basic necessities of life, such as food and shelter. You see this in North America more and more as the gap widens between the rich and poor. The middle class is becoming diminished, squeezed out. You know, when I asked someone recently who believed in the production of weapons, and they said, well, their country has many borders. You know, and it sounds like a good argument, right? But I said to her, but with the production of the weapons and the continuation of how we're existing now, what is the result? To what result? To what end do we spend all this money on defense? And, they didn't have an answer, because there is no answer. I mean, the end is the loss of lives, the suffering of lives, and increased paranoia between nations. I'm talking to you about this because you can do something about it. It feels like we're powerless, and it feels like, well, there's nothing I can do to change it. And so we shelve it, we put it aside, and we put it aside trusting the people and organizations that are in power, such as our governments. Because we assume, wrongly, that they're going to take care of things, that kind of they know better. It's complicated. It's complicated, just like economics. When I think of and read about economics, I mean, well, it's too complicated. I can't do that. But the truth is, when it comes to how we should be running the world, especially within economics, and that includes the production of weapons, you are the only one that can change the world. And the reason I say that you're the only one is because within this, we are actually a closed system. Earth is a closed system. It is one unit. And then within that one unit, there are 7 billion individual units called the human being. But we're really one. We really are one. You can see that in the way that everything is interconnected, and what we do, the human being does, as supposedly we are probably the dominant species. We're certainly not probably the most evolved or superior by any means species on the planet, but we have movement, physical movement, to move things around on this planet and get things done in a way that other species don't. So we can affect it. And we can see how through each of our participation, each individual being's participation contributes to changing the world, contributes to changing the ecology, how the animals and the plants are affected, how the water is affected. And never as obvious in a way as the money system. How our subservience, how our ignorance and ignoring the situation of all the trillions of dollars being poured into the military so we can supposedly defend ourselves from each other in this closed system, this one unit circle. it doesn't work. The result has been war after war after war after war after war after war. It's not working. The idea of defense is not working. And so putting that money toward funding something like living income guarantee makes a lot of sense. Now this could happen slowly. As well, when I said that, if you're not going to do it, who's going to do it? That's a really important point, because if I don't stand up and take responsibility, it's not going to really happen. The only way it will happen is through where you have your power, which would be in our numbers, our vote, through each nation voting in a system that will serve the people, a true capitalism that will serve the people and not the interest of the few. Stop the migration of all the wealth to the few, the corporations and the governments, and give it back to the people, as it should have been all along. We can do this through our numbers, through one joining another. Develop political parties that take a stand that makes sense, such as living income guarantee, which is a guarantee for all human lives to have a dignified life, a life worth living, in which all their needs are met. This can be done through the nationalization of resources. There's another way, major way to fund the living income guarantee. So please join us. If you are able to join us, there's lots you can do. First, we need to educate people. We need to take responsibility for ourselves to become educated, know what's going on in the world, form political parties. And if you're not part of that, then it's your responsibility to get out and vote for a system that serves all people. Thank you.